Good morning, Labor Roots, and good morning to all of the comebacks watching from the Far You page. Welcome to another episode of Political Hard Talk. I am your host, none other than the greatest Laborite alive and now the voice of the Westmoreland people. Good morning, my people. Good morning. Now, today the question is, who is Mark Golding? But before we get into that, let's do the regular morning shout out. So big up to my people them over YouTube. I did not post for a couple days, guys. I posted a video live yesterday. There's a part 2 of that coming today. So I'll post that later on this evening. Well, this evening for me and in the day for you guys. So please show that a little bit of love and support. I don't know what you ask them. See? Let's roll out the TikTok shoutouts, guys. Father Dark Knight out there, number 1 gifter this morning. Big up yourself. Sexy GG in cool. Number 2nd. We don't say number 2 because number 2 is PNP number. See? Miss Chin 8, big up yourself. Babs, big up yourself. Dark 69 Skin, big up yourself. Father Nye, big up yourself. Lloyd Perry, big up yourself. Antoinette, big up yourself. Big up to my beautiful wife to be, 1 in a million. Good morning, baby. I love you. Amy, big up yourself, mama. Car Kerry, big up yourself. Norman Williams, big up yourself. Bertie, big up yourself. Jamaican Yardy, big up yourself. Junior Dashin, big up yourself. Mama Rose Macala, good morning, mama. Godfrey Richards, big up yourself. Narda, big up yourself. Columbia Necktie, big up yourself. Raja Stitchy, big up yourself. Bangin, big up yourself. Donovan Cummins, big up yourself. Pauline Johnson, big up yourself. And Claudette Camber, big up yourself. I have not seen my beautiful mother-in-law yet, but I know she'll be coming in short order. She's one of my number 1 fans. See? So big up to my mommy-in-law. Guys, so time and time again, we have to come back to a bit what you call it now? We have to refresh the Jamaican people's memory about happenings that went on in the past. So today we're going to talk about Mr. Finsac himself. We're going to play a few clips, and we want to educate the masses. Like I said, my following, I'm starting to break through to the 18 and 24, and those demographic will not have known about what happened in the 1990s as it relates to Finsac and how the People's National Criminal Organization destroyed the finances of Jamaica and destroyed, the middle classes and destroyed the general economics of Jamaica. And a lot of our woes that we are having in now in Jamaica, a lot of our hardship that we're having in Jamaica now, it stemmed from before that, but mostly because of that time during the 1990s when the world was booming. We had growth all over the world. Jamaica was not growing because under Percival James Patterson and Omar Davis and this brother here as an advisor, he and Peter Bunting, You know, they did not manage to grow the Jamaican economy, and because they could not do it, you know, our country became stagnant. It's starting to eat in on itself, and a lot of persons suffered because of that. People are sending me game. So we're going to take you guys to a few clips, but I need to send something from this phone, guys, to the other phone. So bear with me, give me a second there. See? Mark Golding, back in the day, would have been a financial advisor to the then Minister of Finance, Omar Davis, who he and him were, you know, buddy. Mark Golding's seat now was Omar Davis' seat that Omar Davis handed down to Mark Golding in the latter years of, you know, coming out of government. Now, Mark Golding had everything handed down to him, Jamaica. Mark Golding's mother's side of the family is from, you know, a slave-owning background. So that's where a large part of his wealth came from. You know, they were slave owners on his mother's side. His father was a diplomat, you know, working for the English back in that time, the Queen to be exact. You know, so he would have been, you know, a financially well-off person as well. So Mark Golding grew up in privilege, Jamaica. Mark Golding does not have lunch money to go to school, or have taxi fare to go to school. Mark Golding was born in privilege. Unlike our Prime Minister, who was born from humble beginnings, he would have, like many of us, you know what these things feels like. And he's the one now who is able to make the change for the Jamaican people. But I'm going to show you guys just how wicked these persons were. And Mark Golding, you know, benefited not only from slavery, not only from being a son of a diplomat, but benefited off the backs of trying Jamaicans who were aspiring to own business and to make, you know, great wealth for themselves and their children. So these persons, they actively try to stifle Jamaicans from creating generation wealth, you know, wealth that will help their children and their grandchildren. Now, Mark Golding is a very wealthy man. His children and his grandchildren after them won't ever know what it feels like to you know, to struggle. Now Largo say me want one Ado Pro Box. Well, you know, we realize the PMP not really they're not too savvy with the English language, so we're not gonna waste the time with that. So we are getting into the program now, guys. I'm gonna take you to a clip. I want to listen Jamaica. Now share out the live. Some of us would have heard this before. Others would not have. So on a bear, look at patience if you listen to this. Jamaicans.
I'm suffering inside and everything. I'm very frustrated. Even right now, as we don't have any water in this yard here. And as a weir on the background here, is a very, very bad condition. I have to go and bathe. Understand? And I have to lift water from here, go around there, go bathe. No water, no facility. If you notice here, a whole heap of people living in the yard here. And
like up your life, guys.
It's poverty.
Adjusting to his new life has been difficult for Meshach Willis. The entrepreneur has fallen on hard times since losing his house as a result of the financial sector collapse of the 1990s.
You use a certain type of life, and to move down to this level, it's not easy to cope with it. Many of my friends and other people who know me and know where I am now and know where I used to be, said to me that they don't know how I manage it. They don't know how I manage it. That some people say they couldn't live it out. Even my children, them sometimes them confused because they've never used to this kind of life. And they don't know how to cope with it. It is so hard. It's very, very hard to cope with life like this.
After working hard for several years to build his dream house, he was thrown out in an instant. Losing he and had spent years accumulating. The Finsac entrepreneur claims his house, which was valued at between $9 and $11 million, was offloaded by Finsac for just $3.5 million.
At the time when the house sold, they said that who 11 point odd million. And they said they sold it for 3.5, and I still have a balance of 7 point something. Up to now, I don't know if I still owe that money or what happened. I don't know if I have a money in my hand now, if they will come to me for that money, because they say I owe it, and I don't know if it's still growing interest. Because every time we ask for an account, nobody won't give it to us.
Mr. Willis says he ended up being Finsacked because he took a revolving loan from the now defunct Eagle Commercial Bank. However, with the interest rates skyrocketing, he, like many others, found it difficult to keep a pace with the financial demands. Dealing with the emotional toll of Finsac hasn't been easy for many who were forced to start life all over again. The news of a Manchester couple's suicide late last year, which was linked to Finsac, hasn't surprised Mishik Lewis.
Many other people just did. They take it to heart and did. My wife, I know that she couldn't take the pressure. That's why she died. You understand? And if I continue like this, I go dead too. And leave my children them, nothing.
Finsac ensured that in a crisis in the financial sector, depositors didn't lose any money.
Nobody life shouldn't go like that.
Lascelles Poyser is another Finsac entrepreneur who believes there are many untold stories about the emotional fallout from Finsac.
I know some of these people personally, and I grieve for them, Some are sick, some can't take it. There's one gentleman, when he told me of his wife killed herself. I'm not going to name because he's still around. And when he sold his house, he was living in Stone Hill. Very nice house. He almost gave it away. Beautiful home. The wife couldn't take it. She suffered more than him, Ended up shooting herself.
Mr. Poyser is a real estate developer who says he borrowed $9 million to help fund the housing development.
Listen to this.
But like other entrepreneurs bitten by the Finsac bug, he saw his debt ballooning out of control.
The interest rate went from 14, maybe 18% to 100% with penalty and interest 150%. It was totally impossible. So the more we pay is the more interest gone on. We are talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, And one debt, it was $909 million.
Borrow $9 million. And when Mark Golding and Peter Bunting advised Omar Davis to put up interest rates overnight, this man who borrowed $9 million owed $909 million overnight. This is what Mark Golding did to the Jamaican people. This is who Mark Golding is. When you look in your eye, he's a demon.
I came into the party through Dr. Omar Davis because I knew him in the financial sector, where I had been like one of the leading corporate lawyers in Jamaica and very involved in financial engineering.
Continue to listen.
And that one I think I've actually paid over $100 million.
Like many Finsac entrepreneurs, Lascelles Poyser says the initial stages were difficult. But his biggest tragedy was losing his wife, who packed up and left him, taking the children.
When things were not going good, she took the opportunity. She could not deal with it, really. She was an ophthalmologist. As a doctor, she could not deal with my falling from grace, if you like. So she went back home. That, I think, was the biggest of my disaster.
He says for many years he wasn't allowed to see his children, as his wife partially blamed him for her company going under because of Finsac. The realtor admits that the events left him in a daze.
I was upstairs sleeping most days, just gone from myself. you know, and it was really devastating.
Despite losing property estimates at $500 million Jamaican dollars to Finsac, Lassell Poyser admits that he's better off than many other entrepreneurs who lost their life savings in the financial sector meltdown. He's banking on a major development in St. Thomas, which he's now working on to turn his life around. However, Meshach Willis isn't seeing a light at the end of his tunnel anytime soon. He says he's extremely disappointed with what he believes is the Portia Simpson Miller administration's perceived lack of commitment to concluding the Finsac inquiry.
I believe that this government should have anxious to see that the people who suffer in a condition like this to get some redress, even to bring out the inquiry and get it that everybody can know what happened, you know, and to see how people are suffering within it. I think they should be the one who willing and anxious to get it up front, that people can get to understand themselves and people can get some redress and to put themselves together again.
Like many Finsac entrepreneurs, Meshach Willis just wants closure.
My life torn down because of these people. You understand? And I am suffering. When I say I'm suffering, I'm suffering. Life is very hard. I don't know for everybody, but I believe my life has been robbed.
Morning to my queen.
And I want back my life.
Now, I must tell the Jamaican people that this documentary, this docu-series would have happened almost 12 years ago. And today, you know, there's still no light at the end of the tunnel for Mr. Meshach Willis. You know, he's still in the streets of Jamaica, walking on crutches, selling bag juice. You know, this is a man who worked hard in his younger days, worked hard to accumulate a bit of wealth to leave for his children, who work hard to look after his family and his wife. You know, and for Bucky Massa and his bum chums to come in and put up interest rate overnight on hard working black Jamaicans. And you know what they did after that? After they finish putting up interest rates on these purses, Mark Golding and Peter Bunting would have gone on and start up a business that would buy back these people's debt. And the advice of them, they advised the government to put up interest rates on these purses so they could not pay back the debt. And then they themselves would have gone and start up a company that will then buy back these people's debt, buy back them property and buy back from the bank their debt. You know, and when persons offered to buy back their property, they refuse. Today, Mark Golding is the proud owner of a massive portfolio of homes that he rents. Mark Golding taking about $59 million a year in rental property that he gets from rental properties. See? And you can check that out. That is actual fact. See? These persons were not allowed to buy back their homes, even when they offered to buy it back for more than what it was selling for. You know, but persons like Meshach Willis did not, you know, could not buy back his property because, you know, even though he was on the scale, he was still what you'd say trying. You know, these persons, they absolutely devastated the life of the Jamaican middle classes, and they stole from us and took from middle classes of Jamaica and then buy back these persons' debts, and then, you know, became multi-billionaires, you know, from labor that they did not labor for. People like Peter Bunting and Mark Golding. See, Portia Simpson Miller had a chance, you know, to tell the truth about Finsac. You know what Portia Simpson Miller did? After the Bruce Golding-led government put some money into Finsac, see, to find the truth, when Portia Simpson Miller returned to government in 2011, she buried the report and discontinue the funding for Finsac. Portia Simpson Miller did that. Discontinued the funding for Finsac. And this is why we did not get to the bottom of the truth, because persons who had the documents, to look over the documents, to make sure that, you know, we got the truth. Those persons, some of them died. See? They were elderly people that, you know, were under the Finsac, what you call it, you know, commission to find out the truth, what the truth is. And it took so long that some of these persons died, and we did not get to the bottom of it. Don't tell me if you not hear me, people, because all of a sudden I'm gone on a yellow signal. And by the way, I don't know I report them, I report the live by this. So please share the live, guys. Share the live. They're reporting the live, guys. See? For some reason, I don't know why these persons won't just leave me alone. They continue to attack me. They continue to attack me, and because they're continuing to attack me, that tells you that, you know, we are doing a good job.